Bless up my people and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a serious dancehall update because the tension is definitely eating up. Intence has the dancehall community talking after making some major claims in a new track, including a claim that Vybz Kartel once reached out to him about a collaboration. That statement alone was enough to get people talking, but then came the response. Vybz Machine jumped into the conversation and basically rejected the narrative coming from Intence, accusing him of trying to use a strategy similar to what fans have seen from artists such as Alkaline and Massacre. And trust me, people, this is where things get interesting, because we are not only talking about Intence and Vybz Kartel today, we are also talking about Rytikal and Skillibeng, because Rytikal appeared to be preparing a response after Skillibeng previously threw shots at him online. Then we are going to talk about Mr. Vegas, Vybz Kartel influence on dancehall, the discussion surrounding artists selling out major international venues, and why some people believe Kartel deserves even greater recognition for the changes he brought to the genre. So let's get straight into it. No long talking. Let's start with Intence. If you have been following dancehall recently, you already know Intence has been making some interesting moves. The latest conversation started after Intence released material in which he made a number of claims about his relationship with the Gaza movement and, more importantly, his alleged history with Vybz Kartel. One of the biggest talking points was his suggestion that Vybz Kartel had reached out to him for a collaboration. Now, understanding something, when an artist makes a statement like that involving a major figure such as Vybz Kartel, people are naturally going to pay attention. Why? Because Kartel name carries enormous weight in dancehall. So if somebody say Kartel reach out to me, the first question people are going to ask is that actually what happened? And that is exactly where the controversy begins. Some listeners took Intence comment as him simply telling his version of event. Other people looked at it differently. They believe Intence is attempting to reshape the story around his career and his relationship with the Gaza movement. And that is where Vybz Machine entered the conversation. Vybz Machine was not having it. According to the comments presented, he pushed back strongly against Intence's version of events. The argument being made was essentially that Intence is trying to position himself in a particular way by bringing Vybz Kartel into the conversation. The comparison was also made to strategize associated with artists such as Alkaline and Massacre. Now, this is where we need to separate opinion from facts. Nobody watching from the outside can automatically know exactly what conversation happened privately between artists. We were not in the room, we did not hear every phone call, and we don't have every message. So when we are talking about these claims, we are talking about what the artists and commenters have publicly said. But regardless of which side you believe, there is no denying that the conversation has created another major debate around Vybz Kartel influence. And one of the biggest questions is, why would Intence bring up that particular history now? Some fans believe he is simply defending himself. Others think he is attempting to gain attention by attaching his name to Kartel. And some people believe there could be truth on both sides. Another important part of the story is Intence's connection to the Gaza movement. The discussion surrounding Intence is not new. Over the years, fans have debated which artists have genuinely been part of the Gaza movement, which artists were simply associated with it, and which artists eventually decide to create their own identity. That distinction matters because in dancehall, affiliation can become part of an artist's brand, and when your name becomes connected to a movement as recognizable as Gaza, people naturally form expectation about you. That is why the argument from Vybz Machine is interesting. The claim is that Intence is now trying to distance himself from certain aspect of that association association while simultaneously using the history connected to Vybz Kartel as part of the argument. Again, that is an interpretation, but it has certainly created discussion. And then there is another major question. What exactly did Vybz Kartel say or do regarding that alleged collaboration? Until there is direct evidence from both sides, that's something fans will continue to debate. Now let's switch gear because we have another situation developing, Rytikal and Skillibeng. And people, this one could get interesting very quickly. Skillibeng previously made comments online that Rytikal and his supporters interpreted as disrespectful. And now Rytikal appeared to be preparing something in response. A preview circulating from Rytikal has fans questioning whether a full diss track could be on the way. And if that is what we are hearing, then Skillibeng may have another lyrical situation to deal with. One thing about dancehall is that once two artists start exchanging shots, the audience become part of the equation. Fans choose sides, selectors start playing the record, social media start analyzing every bar, and before you know it, something that started as a few comments can become a full-blown music rivalry. But here is where I want to make something clear. A lyrical clash does not have to become real-life violence. If two artists want to compete, let the music speak. Let the creativity speak, let the lyrics speak. That's what makes a good clash entertaining. Now, let's talk about Mr. Vegas because his comments surrounding Vybz Kartel have created another major debate. Mr. Vegas has been making the argument that Vybz Kartel impact on dancehall cannot simply be ignored. And whether you are a Kartel fan or not, that's an important conversation because we can debate an artist's personality, you can debate their decision, you can debate their business, you can debate their music, but influence is something that is much harder to deny. Vybz Kartel changed the way many artists approach dancehall, he changed how artists market themselves, he changed how artists interacted with fans, he influenced lyrical pattern, production choice, branding, and even the way young artists thought about building a movement. And that is why Mr. Vegas believes Kartel deserves significant credit. Another major point raising this conversation involved the Barclays Center. There has been a lot of discussion about Jamaican artists performing in major international venues and what that means for dancehall. And we need to be careful with the wording here because fans sometimes turn these achievements into arguments about who is better. Performing at a major venue does not automatically make one artist better than the other, but it does demonstrate reach. It demonstrates demand. It demonstrates that an artist has been able to build enough of an audience to bring people together outside Jamaica, and that's important for dancehall. Vybz Kartel has been associated with major international achievements, while artists such as Massacre, Alkaline, Sean Paul, Shaggy, and others have also contributed to taking Jamaican music to international audience. So instead of turning every achievement into a fight, we should recognize the broader picture. Different generations have pushed the culture forward in different ways. And this brings us back to the discussion about Massacre and Alkaline. Both artists have developed identities outside of simply being associated with another major artist. Alkaline in particular built a distinct movement and identity around Vendetta. Massacre has also developed its own sound, fan base, and international career, and that is why some people believe the younger generation needs to establish its own lane. You can respect Kartel, acknowledge him, you can even say Kartel inspired your career, but at some point every artist has to create their own identity. That is how music evolved. The same thing happened with previous generation. Artists took inspiration from those before them and then created something different. That is how the culture developed. So my people, we have a lot happening right now. Intence has created controversy with his comments about Vybz Kartel allegedly reaching out for a collaboration. Vybz Machine has rejected that narrative and accused Intence of trying to use a strategy similar to what people have seen Alkaline and Massacre do. Rytikal appeared to be preparing a response to Skillibeng, and fans are watching closely to see whether that develops into a full lyrical clash. Then we have Mr. Vegas defending the argument that Vybz Kartel deserves significant credit for his influence on dancehall and the way the genre developed. And honestly, whether you are Gaza Vendetta Massacre, Team Skillibeng, Team Intence, or you simply enjoy dancehall without choosing side, this is an interesting period for Jamaican music. So, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Intence claims about Vybz Kartel reaching out for collaboration is true or false? And do you think Vybz Machine response makes sense? If you enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification because we're going to keep bringing you the latest dancehall conversation, reactions, and updates. Until the next one, bless up, stay safe, and respect the music.